All right, so let's look at the third trading day for the strategy. And so this is my first losing day. And truthfully, looking back on it, I probably should have um, just taken one winning trade, but this was a little bit more of a difficult day. So if we look at the daily chart like we always do, or actually if we start with Forex Factory, and we had 830 core retail sales and retail sales. Now that's a red folder event, and so that's something that I want to pay attention to. And so when I come in the morning, before I even map that out, before I even map out my levels or look at the trend, something that I want to look at is the high and low of that retail sales number. So if this was the pre-market, I like to have these highs and lows mapped out from red folder news. And so something that I see frequently, and this is like some ICT stuff, is these levels act as decent support and resistance. So you see this came down and bounced here. And so that would be a resistance zone for me above. Just a level that I want to be aware of. I'm not going to trade off of it, but it might prevent me from taking a trade. And so to start the day, again, just like yesterday, bullish on the daily time frame. We're getting back to all-time highs. We're pulling back overnight. And so usually I'd like to see this push higher. That would be my expectation. You look on the hourly chart, I could completely see, let's say there's like a fib retracement here. We've tapped this 50 to 61.8 and trade higher. This kind of trend continuation flow is what I'd be expecting. And so if we come down to the 5-minute chart and we look at the 1-minute chart and we look at price off the open. Now what I wanted some bullish momentum to continue to the upside. And so we're trading below VWAP right now. So we're kind of getting mixed signals. The high time frames are telling me to look long. The intraday time frames are saying, we're kind of going sideways to down. So longs might not be the best idea. So what I need in this situation is I need some bullish price action to get us back above VWAP to give me the confidence to take a long. And so right off the open, again, we get a pop higher. And so we test this data high and it acts as resistance. It starts to turn us around. And so what I should have done is I should have waited to take this long. But what I did was I started getting long here, getting in my position as we were forming these bottoming wicks, and I got stopped out. And so that was a mistake on my end. And so going forward, I'm going to expect these levels to give a little bit more of a move, and it's going to prevent me from taking a long. And so what I want to see is I want to see us come back, resettle, push higher, and then give me an entry for a long, as opposed to, me assuming this level is just going to tap and break. And so you see us break below VWAP, and so you might say, well, these are good areas to look for a short because now momentum's going to the downside. But if you remember on the high time frames, we're still pretty bullish. So I don't want to be shorting that kind of a situation. You see if you shorted here at the retest of VWAP or the CMA, we started to get a sell-off and then the buyers just took back over. So now we've broken these highs. We're pushing higher. We already tested this data wick high, so I'm going to take that off the screen. And so the next level I have on the chart is this European high from the overnight session, this London high. So my assumption now is, okay, we're bullish on the high time frames. We don't have any support resistance areas until this Euro high or this London high, and we're now back above VWAP. So if this EMA can start to overtake VWAP, I'll be pretty confident in looking for a buying opportunity. And so what happens is we continue to get bullish momentum, and I'm looking for a long this whole time. I just can't get the right risk to reward on it. I can't get the right entry criteria. And so that looks pretty good to me. So what I did was I went and initiated a long here on the open of this next candle right here. And I put my stop below these lows. And so I was looking for a 2-to-1 trade just to scalp this higher, assuming we're going to go to this London high. And so what happens is we get straight buying pressure right up to this London high. And so that's the trade that's the only trade I should have taken this morning. I ended up taking more than I should have, and so it was still a losing day. But here's the key. is it was a losing day, but if we look at the performance for the day, I was down 255 bucks. And so my winning day was 1,560. My losing day is 250. So if you're if you're winning more than you're losing and your losers are contained, you're going to be in a good spot. And so that's all I'm trying to do. Is what I should have done, again, is just taken this long here, right here. I got faked out here, and the bearish momentum kind of took us lower. But, we live and we learn, kept the account alive, and we didn't make a catastrophic mistake. Trading's the long game. It's about the long game. It's not about making, $100 million in one day. It's about making 500-600 bucks 3-4 days a week and having small losses once or twice a week. That's what it's about. And so doing these videos are going to help me build that consistency and, share a profitable trading strategy with you all in the process. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully you learned something. And, thanks for tuning in.